Okay, so we're doing a little bit of a spoof off of like a Chicago deep dish pizza, where we were turning it into a dip. So this is actually a cream cheese. It's kind of the dip part of it, right? So very simple process. Combine everything in the mixer, spices, garlic, cheese, mix it till it's soft, and then you're going to portion 8 ounces into one of the deep dish cookie pans, right? Getting kind of the play on the pizza. Top it with sausage. So at that point, I highly recommend taking it, wrapping it, keeping it in your cooler, until you're ready to serve. So when you're ready to serve, you're going to top it with 3 ounces of pizza sauce. An ounce of pizza cheese. A little bit of overhang is not bad, because when we bake it, we really want to get like a nice crusty cheese on top, almost like you're eating like a really good homemade, lasagna. So this is going to fire to prep and pizza. Okay, so you can prepare it either in your pizza oven or you can prepare it in your prep oven. Basically, figure it's probably best for you to decide. You know your business and your ability and your employees more than anybody, so you guys will determine where you want it to fire. The people who don't cook it will just have to bump it. So at that point, you're going to go into either 525 degree pizza oven, or again like a 375, 400 degree convection oven, and bake for 8 to 9 minutes, 9 to 10, something along those lines, like in the convection oven. But really, temperature is key, right? So just you really want to have a finished temperature of 165 degrees. It's going to be an accompaniment to the deep dish pizza dip. So, right, it's the idea, you spread it, dip it, whatever you want to do. So, half a loaf of Italian bread, right? So, cut this way. So, we're not going to give them half of this or half of this. The idea is so we don't, someone just doesn't get the heel, or somebody doesn't get the crown of the loaf. So, 1/2 loaf. Cheese dip, pizza cheese dip, deep dish pizza dip, whatever we're calling it. So onto lined pizza tray, just like we do with crab dip. And then we have fried pepperoni, so about 1 portion. It is 1 portion. So fried pepperoni on top. Romano. Fresh basil. Don't have to be super neat with it. And then our garlic bread. See how nice and golden brown it is? That is gorgeous garlic bread, I must say. That's it. Dip and eat it like, bread. Cheesy bread. So deep dish peanut butter cookie with, just going to assemble it here, with ice cream, chocolate sauce over the top, not a lot, 1.5 ounces, I do believe. Then we have peanut butter sauce. I just happen to have mine in this little to-go container, but so this will get microwaved for about 20 to 30 seconds. It is very kind of sort of liquidy, but warming it up makes it a little bit better. Then we're going to go peanut butter sauce. It's kind of all about the peanut butter, if you will. And then we'll do a little whipped cream. If I can get my hands to work. Let's go right there. And then you will have some chopped Reese's. about 1.5 ounces, so we'll be fairly generous with this. Just about right there. And that's it. We're going to make the enchilada filling, finish the enchilada filling, and actually roll the enchiladas for the chicken and spinach, crispy chicken and spinach enchiladas. So we have our pulled chicken here. So there's a recipe for, or procedures I should say, for adobo chicken. So all it is our random chicken pulled, right? And then you add adobo seasoning, already prepared adobo seasoning. But one of the keys is it's very salty, so you got to make sure you kind of work it in with your hands. Like, don't like absolutely smash it, but like literally just kind of make sure the seasoning's worked in. We're going to see that in 2 applications, on the pizza and just as a topping, and then you're going to see it in this filling. So this is actually that chicken with the addition of a little bit of enchilada sauce, just add a little bit of moisture, cheese, and then we have charred onions. So these were just done on the flat top, so cut 1/4 inch, kind of julienne style, if you will, and then cooked on high heat. So we're not really looking to caramelize them per se, we just want to get a little bit of that color on there. So a little bit of char is not a horrible thing. So we add that to the chicken mixture, and then we have quite a bit of spinach, believe it or not. But so this is blanched spinach, right? So blanch it in salted boiling hot water, and then you're going to take it and shock it in an ice bath, and then you're going to squeeze it almost dry. Like, you're going to be a little bit of moisture in it, you can see, but you can use your hands, and I usually wrap it in like a linen-like napkin and just give it a good tight squeeze. And then after that, just rough chop it. It's very easy, just rough chop it. So then you're going to add that to the mixture. And again, you don't have to be afraid about like damaging any of this, because we really kind of want everything binded together from the cheese and the moisture. Roll our enchiladas. Again, very simple process. 8-inch flour tortilla. These are just some random brand that I picked up. So 5 ounces per tortilla. So lay it down the center, slightly off center, either way works. And then you're just going to roll it tight. I got to remove my gloves for this. I'm going to roll it tight. Make it end to end. I use bamboo sandwich picks. Make sure that doesn't happen. And all we're looking to do is just to hold them together. So there'll be 2 of these to an order. We're going to deep fry for 3 to 4 minutes, something along those lines, and transfer, if need be, onto a steel, finish in the oven, finish cooking to 165 degrees. So we'll make that next. So we have our tortillas, right? Or I'm sorry, what we're calling our chicken and spinach, crispy chicken and spinach enchiladas. So again, we're going to deep fry for 3 to 4 minutes, basically, quality of your oil, temperature kind of thing, and then we're going to most likely have to pull them if they don't hit 165 degrees and finish them in the oven. You will see on the ends of the tortilla, or the end of the rolled up tortilla, whatever you want to call it, that they will start to turn, get a little bit dark. It's just kind of a natural occurrence because it's open to the fryer. Okay, so I'm going to probe these right now to see the temperature. We're about 100 degrees, so the about 3 minutes in the fryer because of the color. I was looking for a golden brown here, and now I'm going to go into a 375 degree oven for about 3 to 4 minutes. Again, keeping an eye on the visual, like making sure they're not getting too dark, and again, probing them to 165 degrees. So here we have our crispy chicken and spinach enchiladas, right? So I tempt them. You just got to be careful because it can be a little bit deceiving because there's cheese and things in here, and they, you know, as they melt and whatnot, like you may get not quite as an accurate probe as you think, because you could actually be kind of in dead space. But so remove the picks, right? Very simple dish to make. We have our already prepared enchiladas, right? And now we have a Hatch, it's a green Hatch chili sauce, right? So about 3 ounces. Basically, this can be held hot, depending on how many you're moving. Well, I'm just going to do it to order. It literally takes 20-30 seconds over a high heat. And we also have, this is actually already hot, so this could be done the same way. Again, about 3 ounces. Heat it up in a saute pan. This particular one happens to be hot, but I heated up earlier, so it's also, you know, you can hold it on the steam table or whatever works best for you. This is already prepared product, comes in bags essentially like our Alfredo, so very easy to work with. The Hatch green chili sauce that we just heated up is also a pre-made product. It's pretty yummy, even though that's the case. So this is what makes it a really easy dish to prepare, short of the enchiladas themselves. So we have our heated Hatch green chili enchilada sauce. Then we're going to do both of our, I keep messing up this name, crispy enchilada. And then this, I don't think I referenced what it actually was. Thanks for Ian reminding me. But so this is a chorizo Hatch queso, already prepared. And then we will go right over top. A lot of cheese, I know, but you know, who doesn't? And then our trusty pico, give it a little bit extra, about 2 ounces on the top. Fresh cilantro. And we're going to hit it with a little bit of crumbled feta. Again, this is just a garnish. Give a little bit of extra color, a little bit of salt. That's it. Okay, we're gonna make candied jalapenos for our honey barbecue chicken pizza. So we have equal parts sugar and water, simple syrup, and we have 1/4-inch sliced jalapenos, seeds and all. All you're really looking to do is just remove the stem. So this is 2 cups total, so 1 cup water, 1 cup sugar, and this is about 10 jalapenos. I'm going to bring the simple syrup to a boil, add the jalapenos, and then we're actually going to turn it down, right? And we're just going to leave these cook for probably 20 minutes, 20-30 minutes tops. You don't want to keep them boiling because we don't really want to reduce the simple syrup. We want to have still a little bit of liquid in there. And we're going to cook these until you'll see they'll change color. They'll get like almost like an army green, a darker green. They'll start to shrivel, and they're going to be 100% cooked. So they're not going to be like crunchy or anything like that. So we'll come back to these a little bit later and have a little peek when they're done. All right, so this is the finished product on the jalapenos. You can see how they shrivel on the edges, right? They're soft and they turn like an army green. So there's still a little bit of simple syrup left in the bottom. You can use this a second time, depending on your quantity though, because you know evaporation happens. So you may need to add like the equal parts sugar and water just to make sure you have enough. So from this point, you're going to completely cool them, and then you're going to use them as a pizza topping, which we're going to make very soon. Okay, so next thing from pizza, or another thing from pizza, is the honey barbecue chicken pizza. So we have a honey barbecue sauce, and it's made from our barbecue and actually a little bit of sweet chili. All right, so then we have our adobo chicken, right? So again, this is just our random chicken pulled and then kind of worked or massaged or whatever terminology you'd like to use with the adobo seasoning. So 3.5 ounces, I do believe. It's on the paper. So for 16, 2, for 10, 1. Some rendered random or slab bacon. So just talk about this real quick. Doesn't really need a whole lot of discussion, but so this is going to be like bacon seconds, if you will, right? So this is bacon didn't make the cut per se, like as far as being sliced. So it'll be kind of random thicknesses and shapes and sizes. And all we're going to do is rough chop it, render it slightly, like not to the point of being brown. You can see there's still some fat because the fat will cook and render on the pizza in the pizza oven. So again, this is portioned differently than the bacon bits. I believe we're 1.5 ounces on this. So long story short, do not use bacon bits, use this bacon. Then we have candied jalapenos, right? These are still a little warm, so bear with me. So about 30 of these, right? So you can kind of just pick up and randomly put on the pizza. My opinion is this is what makes the pizza. This and the bacon, obviously. Natalia, is that enough? And then our cheddar jack, right? Oh, and Pam told me red onion. Right, so we're going to do our cheddar jack. And then we're going to top it with some sliced red onion. Kind of like the layering effect of the toppings because it kind of gives it a little bit of depth and visual appeal. And then bake as normal. All right, so we're gonna slice and prep our artisanal beef bologna. It's 100% all beef. You can see a little bit of a different texture, like there's actually fat in it, so it's not like emulsified, like the Oscar Mayer brand, that kind of thing. So we're looking for 5 slices per order, about 6 to 6.5 ounces total, right? So this or that. And this slicer in particular, it's on the number 10 slice setting. You may have to, wiggle around a little bit because our slicer is a little bit different, but I think you'll get close on the 10 setting. So just slice normally, however many you need to prep. You can see it's about, I don't know if you can get that close, but it's about 1/8 of an inch, I guess. Maybe a little bit, maybe a little less, but so that's what you're looking for. And again, five slices. So if it ends up being a little bit thick, a little bit thicker because you're not hitting the weight, base it solely off of slice count and weight, right? So yeah, bologna. All right, so back to the, what's this stuff called? Bologna. So I said 5 slices, 6 to 6.5 ounces. You can see, so I weighed these. So that's 4 slices and we're at 6 ounces. So this is a little bit heavy, or a little bit on the thick side. Been having like varying results, even though it's on the same setting on the slicer. So that's why make sure you gauge it on your particular slicer that's in your building. But again, the goal should be 5 slices, 6 to 6.5 ounces. And then from this point, when you put it on the grill, it'll curl. So to avoid that, right, what I like to do, you can do either 3 or 4. 3 is easier because it's less to cut, right? So just going to cut it. Cut it. So you can see so this, when it goes on the flat top, it will keep it from pucking up and curling in the middle. And other than that, you're ready to go. All right, so fried bologna sandwich, okay? Liberally, prep the grill, butter, whatever you want to call it. Use a butter wheel. We're using Texas toast. Just looking for that, that nice golden brown, buttery surface. This all happens very quick. It all happens on the flat top. And this is probably the thing that takes the longest. So start with this, and then as it's doing its magic, we have our bologna. So you're going to see a video where I sliced bologna. It was actually a little bit thick, a little bit heavy. So I'm going to get kind of a close-up here with Ian. So you can see it's actually a little bit thinner. This was on, this slicer setting was about an 8. Even though last week it was a 10. So, you know, that goes to my point. Like really, you know, you have to really play with your slicer to make sure you hone in the exact count to weight ratio. So now we're back to the grill. Got a little dark there. Probably do some more. But so we're just going to take these, and they cook super fast. A little bit of tiny bit of prep just so they don't stick. Okay, we have that on. Again, this happens really quick. Just looking to get some like caramelization, a little bit of browning to it. Hot part of the grill. American cheese, right? So 5 pieces of bologna, 3 pieces American cheese. So the idea is we're actually just going to alternate them. So after this, a good way to do this. Help the cheese melt. You can see it doesn't take long. Okay, next. All right, so egg, fried egg, right? Does not have to be perfect. A little bit of light prep. So we don't necessarily need or want a dippy egg, just because for consistency purposes, honestly, it's going to be easier if we just do this, right? So we're going to fry it just till it sets up. All right, so on the heel or the bottom, pickle and red onion. 3 to 4, depending on how thick. These are pretty thin, so I'm going to go a little bit more. Then we have our fried bologna. All right, so we have our fried egg. Then we have our what we're just calling mashup sauce, just because it's literally a mashup of condiments, right? So this is mayonnaise, ketchup, mustard, barbecue. Then we have homemade salt and vinegar chips. So these are our potato chips, right? But with salt and vinegar seasoning. So everything's prepared exactly the way we do it, except instead of kosher salt, we're going to be using salt and vinegar seasoning. I don't anticipate this to be very easy putting together, but that's kind of the nature of the beast. That's it.